So we're going to quickly talk about the difference between selective breeding and genetic modification. So the process is different. They're both ways of genetically changing an organism though. So it could both be considered pieces of biotechnology, but typically selective breeding we don't put into that category because it's been around for thousands of years. So selective breeding started way back, really even before Gregor Mendel's pea plants, but this is the first real documented experiment we have of it. So when you look at Gregor Mendel's pea plant experiment, he was looking at the genetic variation among pea plants. So by crossbreeding, by cross-pollination, he was able to alter the height, color, the size and shape, and even direction of the flower, and the seed size and shape. So this is just by selective breeding. So just by crossbreeding select pairs of pea plants, Gregor Mendel was able to alter all of these aspects. So selective breeding depends on balancing dominant and recessive traits. So again, when you look at those pea plants, you would look at dominant colors, recessive colors, colors that could be co-dominant, so that could both be expressed at one time. So like if you mix red and blue, you get purple. So this is a lot of genetic variation that's difficult to control, but you're still able to genetically alter a daughter organism. So that daughter cell is going to be genetically altered based on how you've crossbred the parent cells. All right, now this is different from genetic modification. So genetic modification in a GMO, a genetically modified organism, refers to direct modification of the genetic sequence or of the genome. So in selective breeding, you would cross-pollinate, look at how those dominants and recessives line up, and not always know exactly what trait you were going to come out with at the end. Genetic modification, you're actually going into the genome, you're saying, okay, so if we know that these amino acids, that this genetic sequence is going to make for a very tall plant, and we want a really tall plant, we're actually going to manipulate that genome to make sure that that exact genetic code for that tall height is going to appear somewhere in that sequence. So this is able to, directly modify those specific traits that we're looking for.